My traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, the dawn is breaking on the stage that holds our final destiny. And so my traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, don't dream it, be it, because the show must go on. And so let's get into today's episode. I'm going to select our decks. No, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, no, no. Okay. 3 decks today. We have 3 decks. So let's see what's coming out. The thing is, I have to check my own energy on this because I believe this is my energy. I have a significant conversation with, it's kind of like between 2 parties that I'm liaising through this evening, and I'm nervous about it. I am nervous about it because I would like everything to go well, but you know, whenever you're mediating conflict, anything could go wrong. So it's sort of like when I have, like, I know there's like some like more significant energy that I'm going to be moving through, like later on, it like I'll get like a little bit of anxiety throughout the day. Well, what I see here under the deck is someone living well and sort of guarding their own peace, their own happiness, even their own material abundance. I'm not really getting stingy. It's just sort of like whoever this is has strong boundaries, and I don't know if we have another party watching this person. Yes, it's another party watching this person who would like to change some sort of situation that they have with them. We have another party watching this person, 7 of Cups. They would like to transform it's a sad, sad situation. They would like to transform that situation, whatever it is, but we have like some obstacles here. And it seems like obstacles that this person is maybe willing to contend with. I'm not sure at the moment because I'm not getting apathy from this 4 of Cups. It's like there are obstacles and this person is kind of sitting back and looking at them and going, okay, but how do I deal with that to move into this abundance with this other person fairly? It's not coming off as a conniving energy to me. It's like someone recognizing someone else's like authority, power over their own self, over their own situation, and kind of recognizing like potentially the need for humility and truth, okay? Like this seems like some sort of process that this person has been delving with, and I think at the start of this process, perhaps we were more within the energy of like humiliation and humiliation. Well, like, I don't know. I meant manipulation, but like, I think I just misspoke, but who knows? But I'm not getting like strong humiliation, but it's like manipulation and like being combative, but not necessarily in like, I want to fight with this person in a way that I want to like dominate them or ruin them. It just seems like I want to manipulate the situation to like get what I want. I want to get what I want from this person. And it's sort of like that, like it's not going to work out. Like that attitude is not going to work out. And it seems like, I don't know if this person tried this with this Knight of Wands, and it's just like, no, you go back to the drawing board. So they might have tried this approach and it didn't work out, or this person is just aware that like, I can't do that. But what it seems like is that through that process, it's not that this person, at least to me now, it's not coming across as this person's like changing their tactics as like just part of an overall strategy to get what they want. It seems more like they are understanding, like deeply understanding why something's not going to work. And they are also understanding something about themselves that would need to change. And potentially at the moment negotiating if they would even want to make those changes, right? So interesting. It's an odd energy because it seems like someone coming to some sort of actual enlightenment about maybe negative things about themselves, and sort of, because they might have been looking at this other person who they want to talk to as like the better strategist or something like that, but it's sort of like they're in an odd frame, because when like you're someone who frames everything as like a fight or strategy or manipulation or something like that, you tend to look at like every other person that way. And when someone's simply not playing that game and they're not bothered by you, it's like, oh, that person must have the superior strategy and like what? And it's like, no, they're just simply not operating how you are operating. And yeah, no, it's not going to bother them, like winning or losing. Like there is no fight. Like we have someone who's engaging on a battlefield and someone who's simply not on any battlefield. And so you might have somebody who's looking at like their perspective on the world and the way people are with each other, perhaps for the first time, is like, oh, it actually doesn't have to be this way. Or how do I even, because it's hard, like it's hard for someone when like that kind of a shift happens to then go, well, how would I operate in this other way if all I know is how to be this way? And so someone might have an expansion of perception, but still kind of cling to the former way of being just because like they don't feel like making the changes, or they're too scared to, or stuff like that. Well, we have some good news on a collaboration and an apology, but like stop. Yeah, there's like something going on here where someone's like, it's like they want things to work out really well here with whoever this is, but like there's still this thing about like apology and stop. There is still something about this that this like it's not going to go through because there's some sort of like manipulative aspect to this. Somebody is still essentially in like, I want something very badly, and it's like this other person or this other situation, and it's sort of like they're not, either they're just starting to see, or they're like not seeing, or something's going on here with the negotiation between like, I just want this, like I want a new car. I just want this person because I think they're like the better looking person, or they would give me a better life if I was with this person. And it really has nothing to do with anybody loving anybody else. That's what's weird here. That's what's weird here. So it's sort of like this apology is like not real, in the sense that like, it's not coming from any sort of genuine energy. It's just coming from, I want this all to work out because I want what I want. And like, there's like a stubbornness here. I don't think in the person not seeing this. I think the stubbornness is coming from like, they either don't know how to get out of that, or they don't want to. Well, someone's working hard at some sort of approach. But they've also got to deal with like, there's like something going on in this person's life. Or they're seeing like that this approach is going to like require something to like work through some sort of energetic turbulence to get to this. And it is whatever this is. And so I don't know, like I'm getting weird, like I'm still getting like weird bypassing energy on this. Like if I pay this person enough, like if I do this, like I'm just getting, it's very strategic, it's very cold. And here's the thing. What's odd about it is that what I think is, it's not that there's not any genuine emotion here. It's just that this person, like, I've got someone who really operates, like, it's somebody who operates, like, kind of almost exclusively in the mental body, and that comes across as very, like, it's almost like non-mammalian. And so it kind of comes off as hostile. It's not hostile. It's just because it is so removed from the emotional body, it just, like, it comes off weird. But I'm not sensing that this person is attempting to be malicious. It may be, and here's the deal with this, is that I don't know if this person has a particular neurodivergency or something else that would, like, cause them to be operating more in that way, because that does sometimes happen. And so, like, if you know that, then you would know that. But it's sort of like, it can be challenging to determine who's dealing with an issue like that. And, like, we have to consider people expressing love differently. And the love is still genuine. It's just because it's coming out of a certain, I don't know, energetic space, it doesn't seem the same. It doesn't seem the same, but that doesn't mean that the love isn't real. So, and then there's the other part of this where you have people who are just, like, very, very calculating and manipulative, and they're not coming from any genuine sort of emotion at all. So I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. And, like, what I would say though is I am at the moment not getting, like, anything like malicious out of this. It seems more like confused. It seems more confused. Like, this person doesn't understand how this approach would be rejected or why it would be perceived as wrong or insulting. That's what it seems like. It does not seem like someone, like, trying to get one over on someone else. It seems like they don't understand. Because this is sort of like a person who's just sort of like, well, if 1 + 1 = 2 and X and Y, and it's just like, that's not how human relationships work in general. Or, like, if you are that sort of person where that's more how you're perceiving things and that's more how you prefer your relationships to go with other people, you would need to find a compatible person for that. Someone who shares your view. And I would say that that is something that's going to be in the smaller percentage of, like, people operating within consensus reality. That's like, that, like, most human beings at this point on the evolutionary spectrum are going to be coming from more heart space when they are dealing with matters of love and relationships in general. And that can be very, very confusing for certain types of people. And it's not their fault. Okay, well, oh dear, okay. Might have to, like, recalibrate this. I can still see this person as being confused, but to me, it's like they are now potentially confused because they don't understand what's toxic and what's not toxic. Because what we have here is, like, the Ace of Pentacles and gain. Something material here, but what I have also is the King of Wands and the Devil. Not a great combination. Not a great combination, because I'm not at the moment getting that as someone who's, like, a captain of industry, right? Because the Devil can just mean an earthly system, something around making money. And then with the King of Wands, that could be, like, a CEO of a certain, like, pleasure-based business, which could be, like, a video game company. That's designed to give people pleasure, and also has elements depending on the games of like gambling in it with like loot boxes or like microtransactions and things like that. That can potentially get kind of harmful. So it could be that. That could be how this combination of cards would come out. It's not coming across to me as that. This is someone who is self-interested and maybe cannot see that. And they're self-interested to the degree that they are creating the devil in everything. And they don't understand. It's like, why am I not getting gain? Why are positive things not coming out of this? And to, like anyone else on the outside, you're just going to be like, but this person genuinely can't see this. Like, genuinely. Yes, this person is confused. They want to have either it's a specific relationship with a specific person, or it's a specific type of relationship that they would see as like profitable. It's like this person, because I've got the Seven of Pentacles here, it's like someone thinking, they're like confused. They're confused about something, they're observing something, and they're like, why don't I have that? Why can't I create that? It's like someone's looking at, like, let's say it's like the nuclear family, right? In the absolute most positive way that you can get that. Like an actual bond, a heterosexual bond between two people, right? Husband and wife, that is actually extremely loving and caring, and like, it's maybe as egalitarian as it can possibly be. And they have 2 kids and some pets or something like that. They have a beautiful home. They are well respected within the community. They actually give a lot to their community. They deeply believe in service. They're raising their children very, very, and when I say well, I mean they love their children. And they are giving them consistent, healthfully attached love. They are encouraging them into their authenticity while doing their best to make sure that like their children aren't going down like toxic paths, while acknowledging that like they're gonna have to do some exploring and have some missteps on their own, right? Like that's just the nature of being a parent and raising a child in the way that I would know, because I am not a parent. I'm just like, that's my conception of if I was going to be some sort of parent, and like heterosexuality doesn't come into play with that. I'm just saying this person, because I'm like, this is striking me as a straight man, or like a, I mean, it doesn't have to be, but to me, it is striking me that way. It's like, you got a man sitting there, you know who that's like? That's like Andrew Tate looking at that and not understanding why he doesn't have it. And to anybody else looking at that, we can just obviously understand why Andrew Tate would not be in a loving, like community-focused, like healthy relationship. Like it's obvious. To this person, it's not obvious. To this person, they're sort of like, I'm doing everything right, like in their conception of what is right, and I don't have this. And I'm not getting anger necessarily off of this person. I'm getting frustration and I'm getting confusion. And this person has some kind of plan. It's like there's a specific person or there is a type of person. Schedule Queen of Pentacles. I need either this specific Queen of Pentacles or I need the type that is the Queen of Pentacles. And that's like a good mom, an actual loving, genuine person, someone who's very stable, someone who's financially responsible, someone who can run a household. I need that person for this marriage, this relationship, this thing that I want. But again, like I just feel it in my stomach. It's just like this person wants this like for the wrong reason, and like they don't understand why it's wrong. Like to them, they're doing everything right. So how is it wrong? Like it's this very, very binary thing, and like I wouldn't even know how to explain it to this sort of person, because if I started telling this person or this sort of person, what's up, they would just automatically dismiss me as like someone fucking stupid. And they would just keep doing what they're doing and like getting frustrated. Like that's the part that it's just like, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. This is why. And it would require, if you want this, it would require you to be an entirely different person with an entirely different mindset, with an entirely different worldview, and perhaps operating within a space within your own self that you will never have full access to, depending on like how this person was born. Or they can have what it is in a, you know what, this is like a person who's like very, very, I'm just gonna say autistic. It's not necessarily autistic, it could be. It's someone who's very, very autistic who also doesn't know that they're autistic. They believe that they are neurotypical and they are trying to do something in a neurotypical way that is never gonna work for them. They can have happiness and fulfillment in their way. It might never ever look this specific way. And they want it to look this very specific, traditional, neurotypical way. And that's why, that's like a version of why this could be happening to this person. Like this, like if it was an autistic person, this person would need to realize and accept that they're autistic. And understand that like, that's why they're getting like pushback from, what is it, allocentric or neurotypical people. That's why. That's what they're not, like that's very, very confusing and disorienting and upsetting for people when they don't know what's going on. And it's like that with any sort of like neurodivergency, mental health issue, until you know, it's very, very like disorienting. It's a disorienting way to live. So I do have some empathy here, but there's also this sort of that stubbornness that we saw at the bottom of the deck, that this person's very, very entrenched in their position and like they're just gonna beat the dead horse about it. And it's just like, but again, like that, like me making that face is essentially like extremely fucking rude if we're dealing with someone who has some sort of serious neurodivergency. Because I'm essentially, like when you do that, that's like when somebody has, like if somebody has no legs, right? And you're like making that face at them when they can't walk. This is the same thing. It's like, it's ridiculous to make that face at a person who is autistic because you're essentially making a face at a person with no legs expecting them to walk. And actually, there are people with no legs who can actually, like they do have mobility on what they do have, because I've seen them. I've seen those people walk like without the use of a wheelchair, but typically it's within their own homes and they're exercising. And then when they go out into like consensus reality, they're going to be either using like a wheelchair or if they have the funds for it, some type of very, very like intricate prosthesis, like robotic prosthetic legs or whatever. So this is why kind of navigating or explaining this energy is a bit like, I'm trying not to take all of the empathy out of it, because there are some reads where I'm just like, this person's a piece of shit. I don't think that this person is, but they would come across that way to like lots of other people. And what is so sad, like the reason why I'm having empathy about this is because this person isn't, like they kind of are being obstinate, but it's because they actually don't understand. It's like not a posture or a pose, they actually fucking don't understand why. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this. What is this like? I'll look at it as one energy, this Devil, King of Wands, because maybe I'm giving too much benefit of the doubt to this person, but I'm sensing like real confusion. And I will say, and I know like this one's more, I would get way more pushback for this. It is also kind of the same way for people who are dealing with like literal like NPD. Like something that's diagnosable, not someone who's just an asshole. real, and like those people are like confused. They're like wandering around in a permanent state of confusion because they don't understand why their behavior is like causing the result that it is. And then they just go into like self-protective mode because they actually feel like they are being victimized. Like it's not like an act. They like really fucking think that. And it's like, it's very tragic. So what is this? The devil and everything else. It is a way that this person thinks and communicates. What's odd is I think this person considers themselves a very effective communicator. They find themselves very skilled, very intelligent. They're a page. This person's communication is actually extremely childish. And this also tends to happen. And I wish I had like a less kind of like, because I do feel like talking about this in a spiritual sense, as in like energy centers, gets like really offensive. But for people who are operating like predominantly, like when you have someone who's extremely intellectual, okay, like really intellectually like smart, like a smart person, that person can, like they can be really, really smart, but they have no deep understanding of psychology, and they have no deep understanding of like emotion. So to them, they think that just because they're very smart at a particular topic, like a neurosurgeon, let's say, right? That person is extremely skilled, extremely intelligent, okay? And they're also going to be in a very like something that society like values, right? Like potentially, like I'm guessing neurosurgeon, like paid very well, but also it required a lot of money for that person to get in that position. So they're also going to have a lot of debt unless they came from a certain type of family. I'm just saying that a person like that can also get like a God complex, but they can also be completely like terrible at interpersonal interaction. And they are thinking because they're so smart and they can do all of this like amazing stuff, that they then get confused as to why these little dirt people down here like don't like automatically like fawn over them, or like they don't understand why their communication within their interpersonal relationships is so poor. And it's for that reason. Just because you are very intellectual does not mean that you have good soft skills. And unfortunately, a lot of people who like will devalue those interpersonal skills and think of that as something like lesser. Like that's something that within people we should just get rid of that. So it's somebody like that. It's somebody like that who like doesn't understand like why their own communication style it's like toddler. It's like this person is like in the stratosphere intellectually, but at the toddler level interpersonally. And depending on the position that this person holds, that actually gets dangerous. Very, very dangerous. The devil. The devil is clarifying the devil, and it is in this person's communication style. It is in the way this person thinks about people and about relationships. And it's fucked up. Like this person isn't going to think it's fucked up. Like they're going to think like the devil is normal. And they don't understand why other people are going, that's not the fuck normal. All right. This is super interesting. Ace of Wands. I want to get a clarifier on this Ace of Wands because it's not coming across as sexual to me, but I want to check. No, it's not. This person's style, I am going to get one more clarifier, but I'm going to say this first. This person's style is this Page of Swords, communication, and also instead of like love, empathy, or compassion, they are asserting authority. And they're confused. They're confused. Why is this plus this? Why is the equation? The math isn't mathing, but the math is mathing perfectly. The math is mathing perfectly. And I'm gonna get one more clarifying that, because like Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups is a bit like, is a bit carnal, depending on how you're looking at that, but I'm not really, no, it's not. Like, this is not about sex. This is about Knight of Pentacles, just like long-term interactions with this. It's like a deeply entrenched pattern of behavior that is showing up in the material world. Long-term for that, like I'm telling you, this is like something that this person, they've been operating in this fashion for years, perhaps their entire life, and they don't understand why they are getting this result. Why not triumph in my, like, I get triumph over here, I get accolades over here, and that's going to be something that reinforces this person's rightness to themselves. If they get accolades within like a profession or something like that, they are going to be doubly confused about how that's not translating over. And it is because the skill set that they are getting accolades for within another area is the improper skill set to the result they are looking to achieve. That's it. And so like this person would have to open up to that. And then also, depending on what this person is dealing with, neurotypically or within neurodivergence, like there's like a way to negotiate that. It's not that this person can't have this over here, they absolutely can, but they need to understand their own self. And I guarantee you, if that person is actually autistic, they would take offense to like a professional diagnosis of autism. They would like deny it. Like I'm telling you, this person looks at things like mental health issues or autism, or like this would be a person who like, it's not like eugenics, but it is kind of like this person, like it's like, oh well, that's okay for those lesser people, but me, I don't have any disabilities. Like it's that kind of stuff. It's like, well, yes, of course, those are the people that should be like pitied, and like, of course, we should take care of those people as a society, but ultimately we should be looking at how to eliminate that, not like through concentration camps or anything, but this is somebody who would want to like eliminate all forms of like disability and things like that through like technology or like some sort of like scientific means. This person would also tend to have the mentality that something like therapy or psychiatry is like hokum. And that's why that if like somebody who had that expertise came to them and said, hey, you have a serious personality disorder, or you are actually autistic, you have ADD, ADHD, this person would just go, that doesn't exist. Or like, not me, maybe for those other people, but I am like a genius, like, ah! So there is some very like, it's a superiority complex that is also leaning a bit into the eugenics. And that's why I'm always kind of like checking us, because like I can tend to get like into some intellectual elitism, and it's bad news. It's like, there's nothing wrong with like acknowledging people's different intellectual capacity and like putting people in roles where they're going to flourish. It is another thing entirely to like get high on your own supply over your intellectual capacity, or any capacity for that matter, and start being like, we should in fact be the lords over all of these people because of our extreme intellect. We are the gods, like that kind of shit, okay? It gets weird. All right, so now we have this Triumph, 2 of Cups, like 7 of Coins. Let's see what's going. I really do feel kind of bad for this person, though. I do. Because it's like, I feel like they really don't. But you know, you have met those people, right? Like within, like I'm getting very like strong, like academia, those professors who are like fucking geniuses, but it's like they cannot be around people because they're like terrible. It's super judgmental, but like y'all know what I mean. It's like they write these genius papers and then they're like, all of these other people are like worms. They're not exactly humans because like I am so fucking smart. And here, let's get into empathy with that as well, because when you're really fucking smart like that, it's very lonely. It's very lonely because you aren't gonna find a lot of people who can match you. Because those sorts of people, in order to be like even romantically stimulated by someone, for even them to get into that kind of like a space with another person, they are going to need to have someone that they can have peer-to-peer conversations with. And when you are that smart, or whatever it is, that's maybe 2 or 3 other people in the world. Do those 2 or 3 other people fit your sexual preferences? Your emotional preferences? It is sad. Because you're sort of essentially, through no fault of your own, when you have that sort of capacity, when it's on the genius fucking level, you're essentially always in a position where you're having to like talk down to people, and not in a condescending way, but it's sort of like, oh, I can't be my full self. I can't be my full self because like straight up, super intelligent people, they'll be being their full self and they'll be using like a very wide like range of vocabulary, or like trying to contribute to a conversation, and to them they're already doing it in this like step down like non-intellectual way, and the people who they're talking to like don't understand what they're saying, and can also like there are people who like feel very hostile towards intellectual people, or like someone who they feel is like it's like they get angry, and it's because they're like looking at that person like because they're being authentically intellectual, and that's just the vocabulary and range that they have, that they're somehow like I don't know, it's like boasting or saying that like you're stupid. Like when someone recognizes that someone is smarter than them, they can just automatically like internalize, this person's calling me stupid. And so they start getting angry with that person, or like they'll like cut them down. Like I've run into that, and I'm not that smart. And so it's just sort of like, okay, like there's just a certain type of person that I'm just like, oh, okay. That person and I are likely not going to be very close friends. Yes, and then this is why, like, let me flip out these other cards here. For either a specific person or a type of person, because all of like the female counterparts, the feminine counterparts that I have gotten that this person is looking at, we got the Queen of Pentacles up here, we've got the Queen of Cups down here. This sort of person is not going to respond to this at all. And so what this person is looking at, they're like, I want this sort of relationship. This loving companion, like why are other people and not me? Because what they are looking at, that they have created over and over and over again, is this. Either they have never had this sort of person in their life, or they have and they've destroyed it. And it's very distressing to this person, partly because they don't understand why. And they don't understand why, because they don't even understand why they're getting this result. Okay, is this Queen of Cups a specific person, or is this a type of person? This magician is striking me as somebody's got an SP. They're not going to think about it that way. This person isn't a magician. I promise you, this person thinks magic is bullshit. Like all of this. Oh my God. And as well, this is like a screeching, militant, materialist, scientist, atheist being in love with a fucking empath psychic. That's what this is. And this person is just like, I want this one. And this person, I guarantee you, if it's that dynamic, this person would be like approaching these people and trying to get them to not be the thing that attracts them to them in the first place. It's like this person is like perfect except for like all of this bullshit that they believe in. Can't they see that like it's all like, why is this person dumb in this way when they're so smart over here? Why are you being fucking stupid about spirituality? This is stupid. It's stupid. This is so stupid. Why do you think that? This is stupid. How's that working out for you? And here's the thing. If this person is an atheist and a scientist, in no way does that person need to convert. They can remain a skeptic, materialist, atheist, and still have happiness, and even be with someone who is a freaking woo-woo psychic. They absolutely can. It's not that is the incompatible thing. The incompatible thing is this like superior, like this, I'm cutting people down for this. Because there are plenty of atheists who aren't that way, okay? And they're very harmonious, and those are the people who we need to be collabing with and teaming up with to, frankly, stop the people who are wanting to turn the world into some sort of like Christian or Islamist or whatever fucking nationalist state that's anti-liberation, okay? When you start trying to like form a state religion, all of that does need to be, of course, I like love spirituality and I love the Christian mysteries and all that. That should not be within policy. Get out of here. No. Because you're enforcing like beliefs on people who don't share your beliefs. So that's the issue. And I do believe this person likely has a specific person with this magician, and it's sort of like they're carrying a torch for this person, and they don't understand why this person's not going to give them the time of day. Wheel of Fortune. It's almost like this person has an attitude of it's like only a matter of time before, like, yeah, like I just have to do enough work. And that's another reason like this 9 of Swords is also giving like 9 of Wands. It's because this person is like exhausting themselves, whether it's with one person or with many, is not going to work. This King of Swords, but there's that my way. You know what I just got? Even though the Duke from Moulin Rouge at the end, like with the gun, my way, my way, my way. And that's this right here. Perfectly an encapsulation of that. So this person is creating nothing but pain and suffering within their own lives due to this behavior, potentially with others as well, because this is going to be a very lonely, isolating experience for everybody involved. All right, Queen of Pentacles, schedule, 4 of Wands. I've been running my mouth so much about, but it's just like a lot of the tarot, at least for me, yes, it is about giving the messages, but I, of course, have a particular view on certain things. And so if the tarot provides a window of opportunity for me to negotiate my own views on certain things within human behavior and how we act towards each other, then yeah, I'm probably going to pop off about it because it's I'm going to say a passion topic, but what is it when it's like, when you're on the spectrum? Is it like a fixation? It's a special interest. It's a special interest. And the thing is, I tend to get along like really, really well with certain types of people on the spectrum, because I love it when people have like special interests that like I don't have, because they want to fucking talk about it. And if they're really like positive, like peppy people, you're getting like free education. And I'm not going to turn it down. It's just like usually you can't kind of get butthurt when like they don't care about your special interest. Like they'll be like, oh no, that's stupid. But I don't take it personally, usually. But then again, most of the people that I know who are behaving that way are aware that they're like on the spectrum, and so they're like managing that. They're like, oh, like they'll give you like a warning before, and they're like, if I'm coming across this way, it's because of this. It's like, all right. So there is nothing barring you from integrating within a community, given the right people and the proper an understanding of your own situation and people who are open to negotiating that with you. And it requires a lot of forgiveness, right? It requires a lot of like, oh, this person's going to step on my toes. And like, I would say, yeah, absolutely be in like 7 times 7 times 70 forgiveness with people like that, because they literally don't understand. They don't. And so it's not something that they're doing with intention to you. It is their nature, for really, really real. And I am someone who believes that things like, depending on the situation, like full healing or miraculous healing, like, yeah, that's a thing. However, there's like a weird way of looking at that where you have someone with like an extreme disability and they can be happy, but it like, you're like, a non-neurotypical person isn't like miraculously going to become neurotypical in general. And also, there's an issue of consent with that. Someone might be perfectly happy in their neurodivergency or whatever it is. It is not like some sort of thing that like, if like, let's say that we had some sort of like super magic pill that was available to everyone, that if you take it, oh, you're just neurodivergent now. You're just neurotypical now. I bet that would be confusing to a certain sort of person, that someone would be like, no, I don't want that. It's because they're happy the way they are. And like, if you are in a frame where you believe that only being neurotypical is like the right way, or being neurotypical is the only way that you can be happy, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. And so even if we did have like something like that, or like some sort of healing based system, if we can even call that healing, because that's a weird way. It's kind of almost like conversion therapy, right? I would say that we would always give people, and not conversion therapy, but like something like, if you could totally eliminate like, I don't know, ADD or ADHD. If we had the tools for that, I would say that should be accessible to people, but like, they get a say so on if they're taking that or not. So now let's get on with this read. Okay, yeah, this person's blocked, dude. I don't know what to do about this person. So for schedule, Queen of Pentacles, Four of Wands, and even the idea of a schedule, having this on a schedule. No, you're not guaranteed. Even if you changed all your ways or whatever, you're not guaranteed any. Four of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, that is no guarantee for anybody. Just because I am, in general, I consider myself a reasonably intelligent, doing my best person, right? Relatively kind, can sometimes be too harsh, mean, or critical, that kind of stuff, but it's all like run of the mill. That's the sort of person I consider myself to be. I consider myself someone who would be a very like beneficial like partner to someone else in a romantic capacity, or even within like friendship circles. That just guarantees me nothing. I am not owed any sort of relationship because I am that way. I can't force that. That's just something that happens. And if you ever have that, cherish it, recognize it when it's in front of you. Okay, so friendships, whatever reunion, if this is someone who is looking to deal with like a past person of theirs, whatever reunion they are thinking they are going to achieve, if they just keep putting in the work, it's a no. It's going to be a no from them, dog. Sorry. Blocked. You are blocked from this 3 of Cups, 6 of Cups. So what is this 2 of Swords? Well, it's a person. And it's a person who, it's like they have their own thing. And this is also something, whoever this is dealing with this other person is so upset. But like, this is also someone who tends to look at other people, and perhaps women, okay? If we're talking about a man here. This is someone who tends to look at other people, but perhaps especially women, as people who actually don't have agency. Okay. And that's also going to be a reason why women especially will not respond to this person. Because it doesn't matter if you ever say that out loud, people can tell. People can tell when you do not see them as human beings. People can have a barrier against these sort of things when you start using words like racism, feminism, misogyny, misandry, whatever it is. You can just get rid of those words entirely. Do you actually see this person as a human being, or do you know you are holding disdain and contempt for them? Okay, that like that's the reason. That's the reason. So, and I don't know what, but it's just like, it's sort of like this 9 of Pentacles, 2 of Coins. It's like this person has their own full life. They are dealing with like their own stuff. And it's sort of like this person, this other person is looking at them as like, why aren't they fulfilling my needs? Why aren't they doing this? And it's like, because it's like this person can't even conceive that potentially the person who they are interested in is like not interested in, like, let's say it's a marriage that this person wants. This person might not be interested in marriage. Their idea of a completely fulfilled life does not involve that. Maybe it doesn't even involve romantic relationships. This person doesn't understand that this person has like a full, rich interior life of their own. And I don't know how to navigate that. I am not a professional. I don't understand what you would tell someone like that psychologically. I don't know the method. But like I would say, I'm gonna fucking say it, because if the person who is like trying to get with someone else and like you're super and you're still managing to be here listening, good for you. Gold star. Oh, I just pissed that person off if they're listening. Because I got condescending. It's true. You're right. Oh, they appreciate that. You're welcome. So if you are this person and you recognize this, I am not saying this to like slight you or be rude to you. I am saying this as someone who, like, my main thing is I want people to be happy. I would love for them to have increased happiness. I would love them to have a decrease in their personal suffering to the extent that they can have that, and also living the life of their true preference. However, there are these ideas of what it has to look like, and the way it looks isn't necessarily important. It's the way it makes you feel. The way it makes me feel. I would suggest to you, based on what I've seen, that if you haven't been screened for neurodivergency, I would suggest you do that. And if you have been screened for it and someone gave you a diagnosis and you shit on it, I would, if you want to get a second or third opinion, do that. That's reasonable. If you get the same opinion from the experts, okay, of materialist science to the best of our capacity and understanding at the moment, you might want to start investigating those protocols. If it's something that it would be something that's like not like autism. If it's like a personality disorder or whatever, start taking like the advice in order to maybe like calibrate yourself differently. If it is actual like hardcore autism, that's not something that like you're going to be fixing. It's just something that you accept about yourself, and you start negotiating how to have effective relationships with other people, understanding that there is nothing wrong with you and there's also nothing wrong with them. And also having a lot of grace for the people who of course aren't going to understand, who are going to have like kind of a hostile reaction to stuff like that, because that is the case as well. But there's some of these that I have described that has nothing to do with fucking being autistic, okay? Especially if it's stuff like people aren't people. Or like, I don't think women or even men, if you are a woman, like, because it's fucked up the other way around too. It doesn't have the same systemic impact as when a man does it. But if you are a woman or a femme who are looking at all men as like pig dog people or like non-human, it's a problem. That is a problem, okay? Because it's just weird. It's just weird. It's weird no matter who it is, okay? Though I get reactions like when black people think that like white people are inhuman. It is typically a reaction to historically how white people have treated black people inhumanely. Like, that didn't come out of nowhere, okay? And so it's kind of the same thing for women. So I understand it. Also, I would say it's not an effective way to navigate relationships. And if we want a truly different society, it's not effective. Though I get it. So I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at here. Because all I feel like I've done with this is like preach. There is some sort of breakthrough that can be had here. With this sun, I don't know if it's a breakthrough with this relationship that this person wants, or if it's just like a breakthrough in understanding that they aren't going to have this person or something that looks like this, like for a very good reason. Right? And it's not, like I said, it's not that they can't have happiness or a relationship or whatever, but there's something about like the conception of it. Like this person can or will have a breakthrough about this, like this chaos, this drama or this tumult, that Three of Swords that they're creating. It's like they're gonna understand, or there's the potential for it there in the energy, and they're going to self-reflect on this, I believe. Yeah. I see it. The potential for it is in the cards, okay? And once this person actually does this, what we have here is a Page of Wands, the Fool, and the Knight of Wands. I see this person acting from this breakthrough, acting from this new perspective, but we're in a page and a knight. Okay? And I see this person like kind of like having an honest breakthrough about this and kind of wanting to rush into this person maybe and express that. I think that this person who they're talking to will understand them and will see the truth in what they are saying. This is a very strong, firm, compassionate person that they're dealing with. This Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. But if they're thinking that like all of a sudden this person is just going to want to be in like a romantic relationship with them, that is also false. Because I saw the Nine of Wands. It's sort of like there's like a childish way that this person is thinking about this. They're like, oh, I did the right thing now, like, you know, I had the honest breakthrough. Is what? And here's the thing. If you are this person who you're recognizing your own struggle in this, I will even go as far as saying that like the specific person who you would like to be with is potentially, whoa, what's that? Oh, that's their breakthrough. The specific person might not be out of your reach, but this is something that takes time. It's not like if you are very used to like 1 + 1 = 2, therefore 1 + 1 = 2. Look. The math, no. This, even if the math is mathing, okay? This sort of thing that you're looking for with another person takes time. It's not the automatic result that you will get within like an experiment or like, you know, the Large Hadron Collider or whatever. It's different. It's different. And like, that might be hard for you maybe to wrap your mind around, but I'm saying if you are willing to take the time and be patient, you could potentially have the specific thing you want, everything you want, if you are willing to do that. Okay, so let me look at this. Yeah, it is in the energy, okay? The specific person, if it is a specific person, this Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Yes, you can potentially have this relationship with this person. Granted, you're willing to take in like everything that I've said in this read and apply it, or at least like, because I'm sure I've probably said some like garbage nonsense or ignorant shit in the read, okay? But there's some of it that is going to work out. And get your second opinions or whatever. Do go to the experts, okay, in human behavior, psychology, people who understand emotions. Because people aren't logical, they're emotional. You say facts don't care about your feelings. That is false. Feelings don't care about your facts. You can give someone all of the facts and all of the data. Depending on how they feel emotionally, they're just going to reject it. It's the other way around. Feelings don't care about your facts. Our entire functioning of society and the, I guess the 2016 or 2015 election cycle proves that. Again and again and again, and everything that's happened since then. Feelings don't care about facts. And feelings are ascendant. They triumph over fact, and that's what frustrates so many scientists, understandably. Let's see here, what is this? Because we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. The read's gone on too long. I might have to cut some of this out. Yes, patience is required here because whoever, this has got to be someone you have a past with. This Queen of Swords is going to be guarded against you and guarded against this relationship that you want with them, even if that's just a friendship that you're looking for, okay? It's understandable. I'm not seeing this person as being harsh or cruel because obviously if they are the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, that's not who they are. But you are going to have to contend with that person as a person. And respect their feelings and boundaries. Okay, I'm being an asshole. You're right. I'm being an asshole. I'm being an asshole. I'm being an asshole. But it is true. Okay. So let's go ahead and get some final outcome advice. And I don't even think I'm getting Jesus on this because here's the thing is I really do feel like I'm talking to an atheist. But I don't even get what, by the way, atheists, you are welcome. The only people that I'm not even gonna say they're not welcome because obviously they can watch whatever they watch, but people who I don't entertain, people who I'm not gonna entertain seriously in a conversation are the screechers. The people who just want, flying spaghetti monster, sky daddy, the diarrhea of the mouth people. And that is not exclusive to atheism. It happens all over with spirituality and religion too. That's what I'm saying is unwelcome. I have no problem with atheism as a worldview. I have an issue with people not respecting other people or considering them lesser for not holding the same views that they do and treating them as non-human. That's what I have the issue with. So of course the atheists are welcome. I just get very pissed off, which I need to work on that as well, with that other sort. because it's just like, why are you getting angry? Well, it's normal to get angry at like a screeching toddler that you can't get away from. But the thing is, that's not going on in my environment. I am choosing to respond. I am choosing to react to my triggering. Final advice outcome. Yeah, okay. Let me get one more on this. Good idea. Good choice. Good choice, sir. Or madam, or Lorax self. Okay, yeah. Okay. This is somebody's past person. Yes, all right. This all looks splendid, all right? If you are willing to do some of what I've said here that is actually applicable to your situation, and you go and get like actual expert advice from other people, what I have here is this 7 of Swords, right? What's going on here is like, you can see the math isn't mathing, right? With my person here, this Empress. I need to handle this another way. Not in the intellectual way, in the emotional way, in the energy way. And that does not necessarily mean spirituality. If you are an atheist, it just means compassion. It just means caring. It just means understanding. It just means having an open mind and an open heart. You can do all of that with no spirituality, Jesus, what the fuck ever, okay? That's not exclusive to that. So this person, this Empress, our 9 of Pentacles, right? I get, like, you're upset. Like, you understand, like, you are going to get clarity out of this, or this person will. You are going to understand this, and likely if you do all of this stuff, reunion is absolutely possible. And what I see here, so we have our Emperor. We do have a match here. We do have a match, and that's what's especially distressing for this person, if I'm not speaking directly to this person, is that this person right here, despite the negatives that we've expressed in the read, this is a 1 in a million person. If we're talking about someone of extreme intellect and all of that, and the person who they are interested in is also 1 in a million. They are a match. And so for this person, it is going to feel like there is no one else, because these are potentially very unique circumstances that we're talking about. But if you're willing to do all of this stuff, or this person is, I see you in this relationship with either the person you are attracted to, the person that you want, or a comparable person. A comparable person. Yes, you can run into the 1 in a million again. It can happen. But at the moment, I am seeing this as a specific person you would like to deal with, okay? So there is positivity within the energy for this and for the situation, as long as you are willing to undertake certain things and be patient and open to whatever the other person is saying to you, okay? And so I do wish you, and your other person, if this in fact is the other person, I wish y'all all the best. So, my traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, I am your GM, your game master for this, the game of life, for however so long that you shall need me, but my doors are always open. I am also, of course, the greatest magician of the age, and perhaps the greatest magician of all time, and together, you and I will perform the greatest magic trick of all time. We will reverse the polarities of the world, make America great for once, fly this boat to the moon somehow, shift the world onto the mega happy timeline, perhaps leaving it a much better place than it ever has been before, because we are my traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, crawling on the planet's face. Some insects called the human race, lost in time and lost in space. End meaning.